Alright, welcome to the early morning video, one of my favorite videos. I think my audio is a little bit not ideal. I don't know what's going on there, but it's just a little quiet. Uh, Let me see if, okay, so it's right about there, but I guess it's not too bad, hopefully. It seems like it kind of is, but I'm going to continue. I'm going to do what everyone is here to see, which is the Python for DevOps series. So this will be part two. Won't have a lot of time, but it'll be better than nothing. All right, so I'm reading about machine learning ops and artificial intelligence, which is awesome, timely subject. So this is modeling. Now let's review modeling. Machine learning modeling is when an algorithm learns from the data. The general idea is to use previous data to predict future data. Sklearn regression model. First, the data is extracted into features and targets, and then it is split into a train and test model. This allows the test to be held aside to test the accuracy of the trained model. All right, and I think I was following along. I'm gonna try to follow along with the examples because this subject is pretty important to me. I don't want to fall behind when it comes to what I know about AI. At least not on like a superficial level. Like I don't want to be the guy who's like never heard of ChatGPT. All right, so here's my development environment. If I do a CD, you can see I've got a folder already created for the specifically dedicated for this chapter 14. So I'll open code from there. All right, and we can see I've got a virtual environment, so I'll activate that. All right, and now I'll do the example. So the first line from sklearn dot model selection import. So this should be a familiar. Oh, I forgot the next line. All right, so this should be a familiar error for anyone comfortable with Python. The module was not found, so that means it needs to be installed. And I haven't. I'll just do an update pip just because I'm coming back to this after a while, and the command is upgrade, not update. It's kind of like the apt update command. I think it's important to do every once in a while. So it looks like it looks like I used a system command instead of a magic command. I'm just going to do it completely outside of this because I'm concerned that I'll not do something correctly. So pip install upgrade pip. All right, so that's completely upgraded. So now I'm going to do pip install sklearn. Now we've got a problem here. It's not a problem with pip. So it looks like downloading okay, so this is not the name of the PyPy package. Just as a reminder, you when you do something like pip install, it pulls down packages from package repositories. So the package repository here that it's pulling from is PyPy. So if you want to see what's available for you to pull down, you can go to the PyPy Python package index and you can search there. So let's search for sklearn there. Okay, so now we can see different uh, different sorts of sklearn, but the actual output here is just telling us which one to use. So we'll use this one. Oops. Okay, so it looks like there's an issue here. That might not be the right one either. They did give us this more information link, so this might be the source of truth. So already a step ahead there, but let's see what else I've got wrong here. It's kind of interesting that they decided to make that decision, because it looks like they have to. Yeah, let's read the reason for deprecation, because it seems like a lot of effort to to do this. So sklearn package on PyPy exists to prevent malicious actors from using the sklearn package, since sklearn, the import name, and skit-learn, the project name, are sometimes used interchangeably. Oh, I see. So it's kind of like a phishing thing, where like instead of going to google.com, you go to gogle.com by mistyping it, and then it's like a phishing website meant to steal your information. skit-learn is the actual package name and should be used with pip. So that kind of makes sense that that sort of thing exists when, I mean, you're downloading things onto your computer, so that puts you at risk for malware and for attacks like that. All right, so let's should have that available to import now. So let's do the line. The great thing about PyPy is I can just up arrow, and there we go. It works. All right, go back one and forward one. There we go. So extract and inspect feature and target. It is a good idea to explicitly pull out the target and feature variables and reshape them in one cell. Afterwards, you will want to check the shape to ensure it is the property dimension for doing machine learning with sklearn. So this is based on a prior series of examples. I got the examples kind of to work, but they weren't. So I didn't have Jupyter notebooks running, so I couldn't see the output. This is more than the morning video. This is gonna have to be a weekend video or a long evening video. Maybe I'll be able to do it tonight, but I need to get Jupyter running to see the graphical output, so I can work with ChatGPT to set that up. I think there also is a walkthrough of it in the book, so I guess I can look at that now a little bit, but I don't think I'd like to move on until I can get these examples working. This is learning about data science, which is, or sorry, well, yeah, data science too, but this is a subject that I'm kind of passionate about learning right now, so I want to try to get these examples to work. So let's search for Jupyter, Jupyter. Then we've got 18 matches here. So, and we've got the locations of the matches, so we can see where in the book this is mentioned. We can see where I am in the book, which is great. This actually seems like it has more robust features than the online one, so I'm actually pretty happy with this. So before this, we've got Yeah, so I think this is where it's first mentioned. So I think this is where I need to go. Yeah. So Jupyter Notebooks, and I read this 2 years ago, so it's a good time to read it again. A spinoff from the IPython project, the Jupyter project allows documents containing text, code, and visualizations. These documents are powerful tools for combining running code, output, and formatted text, especially in the context of like data science, because you can print out the graphs really easily. Jupyter enables the delivery of documentation along with the code. It has achieved widespread popularity, especially in the data science world. Here is how to install and run Jupyter Notebooks. Yeah, so this is what I need to do, so let's do that. Pip install JPyTR, and then, okay, there we go, perfect. Okay, so now it's just like other applications like this. So we've got a port that opened up in 8888. So now we can open that in the browser. That's what's great about VS Code too. This is automatically something that sets up. So now we're at a Jupyter notebook, and take note that this is running on my local computer, which is great. Otherwise, it'd be kind of a bit more than I could take on, because it would be a kind of a security vulnerability. So now we've got token authentication enabled. So if no password has been configured, you need to open the server with its login token in the URL. I don't see that. This requirement will be lifted if you enable a password. So I think I'm going to enable a password. Well, let me finish reading this. So here's the command to get this will show you the URLs of running servers and their tokens, which you can copy and paste into your browser. I'm okay with showing this information, even though it's password information, because the it's local. It's not going to go out on the internet in any way. It's not like an AWS account that's tied to charges, anything like that. So I feel very comfortable showing this on this channel here. So we're gonna create another terminal instance in VS Code. Then we're going to activate my virtual environment where all my modules are installed. We'll have to do that correctly using the correct command. So right now, there's no such file or directory, so we're going to use the pwd command. There we go. So we can see I'm in here. Now we'll do the ls command, and we see that file is there. So it must be something about how I am typing it out. So let's type it out more slowly, and we'll try to auto complete everything. So I did a VNV, and now I'm going to do a B. And now we can see the error I made. I wrote source twice instead of activate. So I'm going to do A and tab, and that's what I meant to put in. All right, so now I'm going to run Jupyter server list. And there we go. We've got a running server, and we've got the token here. So I'm just going to open it to the token. There we go. So I think that's fine. We could just do that command and open it to the token. I guess I'd rather do that than, because even if I show like how I create passwords, that might be some insight into real vulnerabilities. So I'd rather not set a password, and instead just use the token. I'm really happy with this. So let's see here. So yep, so I did this command too that created the notebook. This command opens a web browser tab showing the current working directory. From here, you can open existing notebooks in the current project or create new ones. Procedural programming. If you've been around programming at all, you've probably... Oh, you know what? I don't think I have to read this. That really all I needed was the notebook. So now I have everything I need to continue on with the example. I have about 10 minutes, maybe more like 15. So let's show the notebook here. And this is not the Jupyter notebook. This is in the context of my Kindle client on my PC. So it has a notebook and it has my bookmark. All right, and now I'm going to need to go back in time and do the rest of the examples. So the first example just starts right at the beginning. Yeah. And I'm going to do this all in a file now so that I don't lose the content. So we can see my Jupyter notebook. Yeah, so I can actually do everything in here. So let's do that. So let's create a new file. And we're going to say chapter 14 examples. And then we're going to call it .py. All right, and then I'll open the file. And now we can see we've got just a static file here. If I do print hello world, it's just a file. This is just a text editor. This is not what I need. So I'm going to close that, unsave the changes, and delete that file. And now I'm going to start something else. I believe what I need is this here, this Python 3 application. So there we go. So this is not a .py file. It's a .ipynb file. So it's a special file made to run in Jupyter notebooks. That's what I need. I don't need a .py file. So I'm going to label this file chapter 14. And then it's going to be called examples. Chapter 14 examples. All right, so now if I do a print hello world, now if I click away from the cell, I'm not quite sure how to do that. I guess I just click anywhere. Now I have the ability to hit this play button up here and run the cell, and then it automatically creates a new one afterwards. So we can see the output I've got there. As we do more sophisticated things in chapter 14, we will actually see graphs being generated, which is really cool. That's the point of doing it this way. So let's get started with that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is import pandas as PD. And if I remember correctly, you can do a shift enter. There you go. If you do a shift enter, then you run this cell. So we've actually ran this code. We now have pandas imported. So let's go to the next one. And this is Noah Gift. Oh, right, one of the authors. And then this is regression-concepts is the next one. Master. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put the next line on the next one on the other line. It's important that each runs carefully. If there were an error, that would be what is produced. We're seeing actual output. So the next one is df.head. There we go. And I'm hitting shift enter here to run these. Oh, you know what? What shift enter does is it doesn't run the code. We can see that there's a star here. I believe that means that it's pending, that the code has been defined there, but it hasn't been run. So let's hit the play button. Okay, so now we've got an error here because this cell here has not been played. So let's play this one. We're going to play that one, and something happened. It actually didn't print out. The head command was meant to print the first 5 lines in the file, but we can see that didn't happen. So there must be something to do with this line that made it so that that file didn't populate. So I guess what I'm gonna do is accidentally search Wikipedia, but I'll just copy this whole thing, which you can do, which is so cool that they allow for that. Now it comes with a citation for the authors and for the book, but that's okay. So I can close Wikipedia. That was accidental. And now I can go back and edit this cell. All right, get out the author crediting information as fast as I can. And yeah, fix up this URL. And now run the cell. And now hopefully there's better results here. Nope, same results. So, okay. Let me take a look at my files. That file should be created here. Yeah, so it exists here. And I've got my virtual environment activated. So let me just do a dir. The output is not listed. I wonder if I need to configure the settings so that the output is shown. So we've got a view here. I would like to see the line numbers. Oh, now this is interesting. The line number is line 1 for each. I'm just going to take that out. I'm going to look at Jupyter Lab quick. Yeah, so Shift Enter runs the cell. Let's do run all cells. Yeah, and for some reason I'm not getting the output here. So the kernel status is idle. I don't know what that means. This should be fine. I don't know why we would need Juniper Lab. I would not like to read the news. It sounds very like it would not be related to what I'm doing. Okay, so why is this not working? I mean, we see if we do a print hello and then do a shift enter. Oh, and it's not even doing that. All right, well, let's feed it to ChatGPT. I feel like this is a pretty easy thing that can be identified.
You uploaded a screenshot of a Jupyter notebook. It appears you've been working with Python code, particularly importing the pandas library, reading a CSV file from a GitHub URL, and executing some other commands like df, head, and print hello. If you need help with any Python code or explanations about what's going on in the notebook, feel free to ask.
Yeah, so why isn't it printing out any of the output?
The screenshot shows a Jupyter notebook interface with several input cells containing Python code.
Yeah, there's a star.
The absence of output below the code cell suggests that the code has not been executed, which is why you're not seeing any output. In a Jupyter notebook, you need to run each cell to execute the code within it, which can be done by pressing Shift plus Enter when the cell is selected or by clicking the Run button in the toolbar.
I did.
If the cells have been executed, there would be numbers indicating the order of execution inside the square brackets to the left of each cell. Since they're all empty, it tells us that none of the cells have been run yet. Make sure to execute each cell, starting from the top, especially since cells may depend on previous ones, like defining df before you can use df head. If you have executed the cells and still don't see output, there could be an issue with the Jupyter Notebook server, or the kernel might not be started or may need to be restarted.
I think there's an issue with the server because I've actually clicked run all from the menus. How do I start the kernel?
If you have already attempted to run the cells and the kernel seems unresponsive, you can try to manually restart it. Here are the steps to restart the kernel in Jupyter Notebook. Go to the kernel menu at the top of the Jupyter interface. Click on Restart. This will restart the kernel, clearing all the variables or imports made so far. After the kernel restarts, you will need to render cells again to re-import libraries and redefine variables. If you want to restart the kernel and run all cells again, go to the kernel menu. Click on Restart and Run All. This will restart the kernel and execute all the cells in the notebook, starting from the first one. If a problem persists even after restarting the kernel, make sure that your internet connection is stable if you're using Jupyter through a cloud service. If you're running Jupyter locally, ensure that there are no issues with your Python environment or Jupyter installation. Your CSV file URL is correct and accessible.
Oh, okay. So this is what I had to do. I had to restart the kernel and clear the output of all the cells and then run all the cells. This is what I'm looking for now. So we've got all this output here. This is the output that's relevant to the example. So I'll delete these cells. I'm going to do the same thing, restart the kernel and clear all outputs of the cells. And then I'll delete these unnecessary cells that I used to troubleshoot. And now I'll continue with the book. All right, so head prints out the first. So let's run these cells one by one. There we go. So see how kind of powerful this is. Now I've got the output right here. I don't have to bring up an extra window or anything. I can code and view the output in the same place. So here's the first 5 lines. We get that with the head command. And then I'm just gonna skip ahead because it's let's see here. So I think I do have Seaborn because I've done these before, so I can just go ahead with the next line. We're gonna do import Seaborn as SNS, Shift Enter to run the cell. Then we're gonna do and see what that happened there. So it turned to an asterisk, and now it turned to the number 4 because that's the 4th line of code that has been run. So I'm gonna do that again with the next line. And now notice what happens when I hit Shift Enter. There we go. It just turns to 5, and it did go to the star. I saw it do that for a bit, but it was just like a millisecond. So if it's stuck at those stars, you got to restart that kernel. That's the issue we were seeing before. The kernel was stuck. All right, and here's the problem we had before, where it's using a combination of positional and keyword arguments. So I'm going to do everything as keyword arguments. Now, see how great this is? So now instead of just seeing the class object like we saw in IPython, we see the class object as well as what that actually looks at, a rendering of the class object. So really cool. It's a little bit like, I don't know, I feel like it's just all like blacked out like that. I wish it were easier to read, but it looks like it does in the book. So we're on the right track here. So the next one is df.describe. All right, so talked about this in the last one, so it's time to move on. Now the kernel density distribution is the next one.
If nothing works, there may be a deeper issue with your Jupyter installation, and you might need to look into the server logs for any error messages or consider reinstalling Jupyter.
All right, don't need to get that anymore. The issue was resolved, so mute that and continue. And I'll use all keyword arguments again to make it less prone to failure. All right, so we should get some output from that. I'm surprised there's nothing. We should get this graph here, but uh, now there, now we got it. So Python, it we're doing stuff. We're doing heavy stuff. So like sometimes it does have to load up. So it's not gonna run instantly for every command you give it. So there we go. We've got the grid. It looks about the same. There's no shading. I wonder what's going on with that. But we've got the y-axis was correctly defined, and the x-axis as well. And then we've got a shape that kind of looks similar. We've got all the critical pieces of the puddle. We just don't have the shading the same. But I'm happy with that enough to move on. So let's move on. Alright, so sklearn was successfully loaded in. You can see the command run because I've got the number of lines incremented by 1. So now we're on to the actual next part. So I'll be reading the actual I'll read this again. It is a good idea to explicitly pull out the target and feature variables and reshape them in one cell. Afterwards, you will want to check the shape to ensure it is the proper property dimension for doing machine learning with sklearn. Alright, so we're going to do that. And I am out of time. I'm just like completely out of time. So let's see what we got here. You know what? This is probably a good. Well, let's advance ahead. Let's advance ahead one more page. So I gotta open my Jupyter notebook, and then can I paste this in? All right, so that looks pretty good to me. Let's run the cell. All right. Oh, so we got an error here. We've got an extra space at the beginning. Try running that again. There we go. No problems there. So now y.shape. And now we've got the same output. I'm not sure why it goes from 0 to 14, but I don't think that matters. We got the same output here. So I'll advance the bookmark. And that's going to be it. Stay tuned. I've got this Jupyter now set up. All I have to do to get it running is Jupyter server list. Click on this, and I'm good to go. I've got everything saved in this file. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.